So, good evening all first of all. So, welcome to this CA Inter GST Amendments lecture of Jan 2025 attempt. Guys, first of all, please understand, in our ICAI statutory update, they have given amendments which have been applicable for May 24 exams, September 24 exams, and now there are some amendments which are exclusively new for Jan 25 exams. Okay, so some of the amendments what we would have done, we would have covered in the class during our discussion, during our lectures itself, May 24, September 24 amendments. So Jan 25 exclusively new amendments are there, they are there in this material. Very easy and interesting amendments, not that great number. So what we will be doing is, because it is there in statutory update, and if I exclusively discuss all the amendments in one video, see, for you it will be easy for you before going to the exam also to revise the things, all the stuff. So that is the agenda. Some amendments we might have already covered during the class, but still we are going to revise that because they will be important for your exam. Okay, so with that in background, some points I just want to tell you, some points you might be already knowing. So don't worry about that. There are some new points also. Let us cover that and also close the discussion. Clear? So that is what all about. So now, see, if you see amendments here, chapter wise I have segregated. So first, amendment number 1. So what is amendment number 1? We are going to see here. See, amendment number 1 is nothing but with respect to supply. You already know this, we have discussed in the class. If you remember schedule 3, Schedule 3 actionable claims are neither SOG nor SOS. Neither SOG nor SOS. That means if you are dealing with actionable claims is added in the definition of goods, if you remember. So any actionable claims if you supply, that is treated as supply of goods. But there is an amendment saying that other than specified actionable claims, remaining all actionable claims are nothing but falling under schedule 3. That means if you see any actionable claim, that is not a supply, but if you see specified actionable claims, what do you mean by specified actionable claims? Lottery, betting, gambling, casinos, online money gaming, and horse racing. These 6 things are specified actionable claims. Already you know this. And if you are dealing with these 6 things, it is supply and it will be treated as supply of goods. That is amendment number 1. So this one we have already seen, an old amendment, not exclusively related to this Jan 25 attempt. So let us move on to next amendment quickly without wasting time. Now in this amendment 2, see, in this category what I did is I have listed out the clarifications which are applicable for your exam, and in this there are 3 clarifications actually, to be precise. Those clarifications, out of those 3 clarifications, 2 clarifications we have already discussed during the lectures. So one is, sir, if at all we are buying food and beverages in cinema halls, the theaters, what is the tax treatment? We have already understood that, sir, simple, sir, you are buying a ticket as well as you are buying food and beverages. When you are buying the ticket, everything, this soft copy of the material, everything will be available to you. Just focus on the lecture. Okay, right? Sure. Okay. So now please understand, you are buying the food and beverages in the theaters and also the ticket. The tax treatment here is, see, if you are buying the ticket and food and beverages, everything in same price, they are billed together, then obviously you know section 8 composite supply, mixed supply concept, this is taken under composite supply, which are naturally bundled, and the principal supply is ticket, hence the food and beverages also will be taxed accordingly as per the ticket. Okay, there is one. Sir, what if this food and beverages are billed separately, not along with the ticket? If they are billed separately, then this will be treated as, in cinema theaters, whatever the food and beverages they are selling to you will be treated as supply of restaurant services and will be taxed accordingly. But if they are billed along with the ticket together, then it will be treated as complete ticket. If the food and beverages are billed separately, then it will be treated as restaurant service, and you know this already, right? The next clarification is, sir, when a holding company is holding shares in a subsidiary company, do you call it as supply? This also we have discussed during the lecture. Please understand, mere holding of shares in the subsidiary company cannot be treated as supply. What is that you are supplying? Are you supplying any goods? Are you supplying any services here? No, you are not supplying goods, you are not supplying any services. Merely holding securities, merely holding shares doesn't amount to supply. So remember, just holding company holding shares in a subsidiary company is not a supply, because mere holding of shares in a particular company is not supplying any goods, is not supplying any services, so it is not at all supply. Hope it is clear for you, right? So this is another clarification which we have already seen in the class. Now this is going to be a very important clarification for your Jan 25 exam, because this is exclusively Jan 25 exam amendment. Okay, this is exclusively Jan 25 exams related amendment. So what is this all about? What is this all about? Now see, this is all about, one second. See, this is all about now what is happening here now in this amendment. See, generally, imagine, for example, you are buying a mobile, you are a customer, you are buying a mobile. So a distributor is selling mobile to you. Now when he has sold a mobile to you, during the warranty period, what has happened? The mobile display got, let us assume it is not responding properly, the mobile display has got some problem, it is not working properly. So now what you will do? You will go to this distributor, the seller of the mobile to you, and get the display replaced. During the warranty period it is not working, so you will get it replaced, right? So now the point is, sir, when this replacement is happening, this distributor will use some spare parts. The distributor will use the spare parts. What are the spare parts, sir? Obviously the display of the mobile, correct? The distributor is using the display of the mobile. Now you tell me, here this free replacement is happening during the warranty period. What is the tax treatment for that free replacement is what the concept here. Hope you have understood the query here. This clarification is regarding during the warranty period, the free replacement of some spare parts etc. will happen. So the seller of the product will be doing the replacement during the warranty. What is the tax treatment for that? What is the tax treatment for that? Now, sir, here if you see, look at this, GST on warranty, replacement of parts and repair services during the warranty period. Now the manufacturer or it can be distributor who has made an original supply of goods along with the warranty includes potential cost of replacement parts and repair services during the warranty period, and hence that replacement of parts or repair whatever they are doing now without consideration, and hence no GST. But if they charge any additional consideration, then GST will be payable. That means you tell me, when I am selling the mobile to you, sir, I am selling the mobile to you, now the display is not responding, you are coming to me during the warranty period and getting the display changed. I am giving display and I am changing the display, I am providing services. What is the tax treatment for that? Sir, this is absolutely free replacement. No, there is no consideration. And you know, no consideration, no supply. So the point is, sir, this fellow, whatever the customer is getting, free replacement as well as services of replacement, that is the spare part also is getting, service also is getting, both are not taxable because no consideration, no GST. And now you tell me, here this one is clear, this one is clear, shall we proceed till now? Clear? Now, so first of all, no GST here, right? Another point, another interesting one. Suppose, let us assume he is charging 1000 rupees extra for this. Then on that 1000 rupees we will charge GST. Yes or no? On that 1000 rupees we will charge GST, right? Now please understand, be little bit more active. So those who are sitting in front of laptops etc., please make sure you are sending message in the chat box. Okay, right? Now, sir, this one, suppose they are charging some extra consideration, then obviously there will be GST. Clear? Now here there is one more interesting issue. This distributor is using that display, correct? In this example, the mobile display is using the warranty period, he is doing replacement and he is using a spare part. Correct? On this spare part, he has taken ITC. For example, the mobile display, I am the mobile distributor, you are my customer. You came during the warranty period. Vishnu sir, look at this mobile, like display already got the issue. So during the warranty period, you change the display and give. I am changing the display and giving to you. So whatever is happening between you is not a supply, no GST. That we have understood. Suppose if I am charging extra consideration, yes, we will charge GST. Now the point is that I am using a display, no, I am using a spare part no during this warranty period to do replacement, and you are saying there is no GST. Should I reverse ITC of it? When I purchased the display, I got that display and I paid GST and I would have taken ITC, no? Should I reverse that ITC? Respond everybody. Should I reverse that ITC? Technically speaking, yes, sir, you should reverse ITC. Technically speaking, yes, you should reverse ITC. But understand the logic. For outsiders, for general public, they may say that, sir, this is free replacement or warranty period. You need not pay anything, consideration, all that stuff. Like that, they may bluff to the customers. But point is actually we people as professionals and students who studied costing, we know it very well. While deciding the price of the product, while deciding the sale price of the product, you tell me whether the manufacturer or distributor, all these people, wouldn't they have included this replacement cost, repair cost, all that stuff in the price of the product itself? Yes or no? They would have added this replacement cost, they would have estimated this, they would have made some budgets, and they would have added this replacement cost. Even though they say it is free, they would have added that in the cost of the product. So even though they say it is free, but actually it is not free, sir, that cost is already recovered by me. The free replacement cost, whatever is there, I may say it free, but it is already been recovered by me in that sale price. So that means technically it is not free. Right now I am not taking consideration. I have collected consideration long back. So now because I am not collecting any consideration, no GST. But consideration already have collected for this. So whatever the display I have purchased, whatever the spare parts I have purchased to use in this warranty period, all that, I need not reverse ITC on that. Hope it is clear. Everybody just respond. Is it clear? Shall we proceed? Let me enter into the next important aspect. Right. Now, one very interesting thing is that so long you discussed about distributor or this person, whoever is the seller, providing to the customer free replacement, all that stuff, correct? Now the point is, sir, this distributor, whoever is doing this free replacement, okay, look at this point, in the above scenario where distributor provides replacement of parts to the customer as a part of warranty on behalf of the manufacturer. So Vishnuvardhan, the distributor, is doing this on behalf of whom? On behalf of Apple company, or on behalf of Samsung company, on behalf of OnePlus company. Whether any supply is involved between distributor and manufacturer, that means between Vishnu and that Samsung company, between Vishnu and Apple company, is there any supply happening? Why? Because you tell me here, sir, I am doing free replacement, all that stuff. No, will I put it from my pocket, ma? Who has to bear this, this free replacement, all that stuff? Actually, who should bear this? The manufacturer, the company. Very good, super. I like the response you are giving. Those who are not responding also, please respond in the chat box. Be very active. So, sir, actually, the manufacturer should bear this. So, manufacturer will be giving the spare parts to the distributor, or manufacturer will be compensating to the distributor. Are you understanding the point? So, in such cases, is there any supply happening between manufacturer and the supply distributor? Is what the doubt. Now, here, see, there are four possibilities. Here, you can just see once you are taking the printout of this PDF, etc., whatever I give, all that stuff, that is up to you. So here, make sure if you do anything like that, write down here, refer notes, as we actually do in classroom, refer notes, refer example, all that. So the same way I have prepared a flow chart. So what are the possibilities? What are the possibilities? Four possibilities in a very simple way. I'll just explain it to you. See now, first of all, remember, you are my customer, I am the distributor, Vishnu is the distributor. Let us take Apple company is the manufacturer. Okay. So now I am using some goods for replacement, free replacement during warranty period. Now, what happens between Apple company and Vishnu? That is manufacturer and the distributor. Now, please understand. Generally, manufacturer, that is Apple company, what they do is they sell the spare parts to me, and I will be selling to the customers, etc., etc., when they come for repair, all that stuff. Okay, so they sell the spare parts to me, and I also sell it to the customers. Now you understand, I have 100 displays purchased from Apple company. Okay, in this, let us assume 10 of you or 20 of you came with the complaint that your iPhone 16 display is not working properly, and that is covered under free warranty period. So you are asking me to replace the display. I am replacing 20 displays. Now you tell me, I have already purchased this 100 displays from Apple company, and I have paid GST to Apple company, all that stuff. Yes or no? I have purchased them. Now in free warranty time, during free warranty time, you are coming to me only because I am the seller. So I am doing the replacement. Okay, first let me do the free replacement and close this transaction. Let me deal with Apple directly. So now I have used my own 20 displays which I have purchased from Apple. Clear? So what is the option I have? I will raise invoice to Apple company directly on 20 displays. Sir, I have used my 20 displays here, so please take this invoice for 20 displays plus GST, give it to me. Okay, so now this means it is technically like I am selling 20 displays back to Apple company. I will raise an invoice to Apple company, charge GST, and I will Apple company can take ITC, so no reversal of ITC, nothing will come into picture. Are you clear with this? Are you clear with this, everybody? Respond fast. Just type the letter yes, that is sufficient for me. Okay, don't take too much of stress of typing yes or all that. Just type yes, that is more than letter yes also fine. Okay, so please understand, I repeat, see, I am distributor, you are coming to me because your iPhone 16 is not working, the display is not working. So what I am doing, I have some displays in my stock which I purchased from Apple company and keep selling or using it for customer repair, all that stuff. So 20 displays I am using for replacement. Now I am raising invoice to, one second, I am raising invoice to Apple company. Okay, so Apple company will pay GST to me and Apple company will take ITC. So this is the point. Should I reverse any ITC? Should I reverse any ITC because I have provided free replacement? No, not required, because even though you say it free replacement, technically it is not free replacement. So no need of reversal of ITC also. Am I clear? Tarun, very good doubt. Tarun, very good doubt. Some student has asked me, sir, can't we deal this with credit note? Yes, that is the second option. That is the second option. So you raise new invoice for 20 displays and charge GST, give to the government. Apple company will take ITC. Even I need not reverse any ITC on the 20 displays. Simple. Or there is one more option. What is the another option? For that 20 displays, I will raise a credit note. Sorry, Apple company will raise a credit note on me. Are you understanding the point? If Apple company raises a credit note on me, please understand whether there will be any GST now. Sir, earlier on 100 displays, they have raised invoice on me, charged GST. Now what they will do? They will give credit note for 20 displays. Okay, they will give credit note for 20 displays, and whatever the ITC I have taken on 100 displays, I should reverse ITC for 20 displays. Yes or no? Are you understanding the point? So the another option is, yes, you can go with credit note. Guys, there is like heavy rainfall here outside. If at all power cuts, we'll update you in the group. Okay, so just have that in your mind, that's all. Okay, fine. I don't think there will be a power cut, but still, our fate, we don't know. If it happens, I'll update you in the group. Am I clear with this point? So simple. What is that? Sir, Vishnu is the distributor. Distributor is buying the spare parts and selling the spare parts to customers generally, but some customers are coming and asking during free warranty period, please change the display, please change the spare parts, all that. Distributor is happily doing that, and for whatever the spare parts I have used during that free replacement, on that no GST because it is free replacement, but I need not reverse any ITC because even though it is free replacement, technically consideration I have already received. Now this is between you and me, over. Now to the manufacturer I am going and giving fresh invoice. Sir, like this spare parts I have used, so please give me the money, give me the GST, and you take ITC. So transaction closed. Or there is another option, the manufacturer is already selling the same spare parts to me, he raised invoice on me, charged GST, and I took ITC. What should I do now? I should ask manufacturer, sir, please now give me a credit note, I have used 20 displays for free replacement itself, so give me credit note, reduce the value, I will pay you less. So credit note will be given by the manufacturer Apple company to me, and whatever ITC I have taken on 20 displays, I will reverse the ITC. So my ITC also will come down. Hope it is clear. Okay, when it is clear, type Sira please, so that we can I will get confidence to proceed further. Okay, super. Now, sir, the next possibility, see what we have seen here is manufacturer is selling spare parts to the distributor also using that spare parts, all that fine. But the next possibility is I will never have that spare parts. Sir, manufacturer only will send the spare parts to me, and I will use those spare parts in replacement. In that case, please understand, manufacturer will first send the goods and then I will use. Then there is no GST, nothing, Nora. Manufacturer is also sending the goods freely, I am also replacing freely. No GST implication, nothing. Between you and me, the customer and distributor, also no GST implication. Between the manufacturer and the distributor, also no GST implication. Are you understanding the point? Or I might have some goods with me, like let us assume I have one display, iPhone 16 new display I have with me, my goods I am using, and later on manufacturer is sending one display, Vishnu sir, you have used. See, that means we are not dealing monetarily, simple, whatever the spare parts I am using, the same spare parts manufacturer is giving to me. So first he will give the spare parts, then I will use for replacement. Number one possibility, no GST implication, because nobody is paying consideration to nobody. Next, I have some spare parts with me already in my stock or whatever it is, I will use first my stock, and manufacturer gives me, Vishnu sir, you have used this iPhone 16 display, no, take this. Then also no GST implication. Are you understanding the point? So these are the possibilities, these are the four possibilities. Yes, first case, distributor uses his own goods, whatever he has been purchasing, all that stuff, so invoice implication, credit note implication will be there. Second case, manufacturer will give goods and distributor will use the goods, simple. So in that we have seen different possibilities, four possibilities we have covered. Am I clear, everybody? Now see, another important thing is, sir, so long we discussed about between you and me replacement of spare parts and the services we discussed. Now we have discussed between me and the manufacturer, that is distributor and the manufacturer, we discussed about only the spare parts. What about the service cost? For the replacement services, what about the cost? See, as a distributor, Vishnu is providing repair services also, Nora, in addition to replacement of spare parts to the customer without any consideration. Now here, with you I will not charge the replacement cost, the service fees, all that stuff I will not charge. But I have spent my time, my labor has spent some time here. So what I will do, I will go to the manufacturer, Apple company, sir, my labor has spent so much of time here, so pay me the consideration. So manufacturer of such repair manufacturer will pay me that amount. Okay, so now whether any GST implication will be there here? Absolutely yes, sir, absolutely yes. You know, for example, I purchased a car, Honda car. Okay, now sir, you know, obviously there will be first 3 services, 4 services, like that, free services will be there. So during the free services or during the free warranty period, we spoke about the spare parts. What if any spare parts got damaged, etc., etc.? What will be the tax implications? We have understood. Now we are understanding about not the spare parts, not the goods. We are talking about the service. Here, the dealer of that Honda car will give free service only to the customer. But what the dealer of Honda car will do? He will go and raise the tax invoice to Honda company. On that, obviously GST will be there. In this, who is the supplier? Dealer is providing the free services to the customers on behalf of Honda company. So Honda company is the recipient. So dealer of cars will raise invoice to Honda company. Honda company will give GST to dealer. Dealer will pay to government. In this case, recipient being Honda company, they will take ITC. Simple. Am I clear? Shall we proceed? Right. Now, see, one student have asked a doubt that, sir, what if dealer manufacturer is giving goods freely, replacement for replacement purpose, goods he is giving freely, but distributor, that is your Vishnu sir, when he is changing the display from you, he is charging consideration. I told you, no, here, suppose I am charging not free, I am charging 1000 rupees. GST will come on that 1000 rupees. Simple. Consideration is there, yes, there will be GST. That's all. Clear? So this is the latest amendment, the exclusive amendment for you, and this amendment is not yet done. There is one more important point. When you are buying nowadays, obviously when you buy the mobile phone, especially, how many days warranty you will get? Everybody, how many days warranty you will get? 7 years or 10 years? 1 year, right? So please understand, if you remember properly, like when you are doing the shopping, they will say, sir, we will give extended warranty. Have you heard about that word? Extended warranty for the display, 2 years, 1 year kind of thing. So the point is, extended warranty, what is the GST implication? Who will provide you extended warranty? Sir, if you see, first of all, when extended warranty is given, sir, when extended warranty is given, see, I have given a flow chart here for this also. You can just refer that flow chart, or you can refer the points given here. Both are simple only, just a presentation difference. Now listen carefully. I am buying a mobile. Sir, when I am buying a mobile, or let us assume you are the customer. No, let me take that way only. You are the customer coming to me asking, Vishnu sir, we want mobile phone. I'm selling mobile phone. While selling mobile phone, what I am doing, I am also selling, hey, we have one more product called extended warranty. If you pay 2500 extra, we will give 2 years extra warranty, extended warranty for your display alone, mobile display alone. If you see mobile display itself, like let us assume you are buying 50,000 worth mobile or 30,000 worth mobile, they will say, see, the display cost itself is 15,000, sir. If display gets broken tomorrow, you have to change it by paying 15,000. Instead of that, pay 2500 extra, sir. Take 2 years extended warranty. So total 3 years you enjoy the mobile phone usage. During this period, anytime if your mobile display gets broken, or if it is like not functioning, all that stuff, we will replace it freely for you. Like that extended warranty, they are collecting the 2500. No, we are talking about the tax implication of the 2500. So here, if at all, who is selling goods to you? Vishnu. Who is selling goods to you? Vishnu. If at all this extended warranty is given at the time of original supply, that means while you are buying mobile itself, I am giving this warranty to you. Who is giving? Supplier. Vishnu is only giving. Okay, then understand, this is part and parcel of the sale of mobile phone. Composite supply, naturally bundle. Nowadays whatever electronics you are buying, all that stuff, they are giving extended warranty, sir. It is a composite supply. So what is the tax treatment? Treat it as per the principal supply. Principal supply is mobile phone, then extended warranty is also treated as supply of mobile phone. Am I clear? So we will charge GST on that 2500 also, as if it is a sale of mobile phone, and whatever the GST rate is applicable, the same thing we will be applying there. Okay. Now, Vishnu, the seller, is not providing extended warranty to you. There is some third person who is exclusively dealing with extended warranty. He is giving that extended warranty to you. Then it is not a part and parcel of composite supply. Yes or no? Some other third person is doing. So separately it is treated as supply, and it will be taxable as supply of service and will be taxed accordingly. Am I clear? Clear, my everyone? Okay, right. Sir, this is the tax treatment when I am buying the mobile, sir. What if after the mobile is sold, after 2 3 months, or after 1 week also, after the sale of mobile is over, after the sale of mobile is over, then you are going to the shop, whether you are coming to the shop, whether you are going to third person, wherever you are going, sir, if you get this extended warranty after the supply is over, whether it is provided by the supplier or whether it is provided by third person, it is straight away treated as separate supply itself, and it will be treated as supply of service and taxed accordingly. Simple. So I'll just summarize again. Extended warranty at the time of purchase of that particular product or whatever it is, at the time of original supply, if you get it, if the supplier only provides that extended warranty, then it will be treated as part and parcel of composite supply. It will be taxed as per the principal supply. No sir, it is provided by third person, it will be treated as a separate supply and taxable as a supply of service, right? And coming to the next aspect, sir, suppose the next possibility, after the supply is over, we are providing extended warranty. If after the supply is over, if you are providing extended warranty, then what will happen? No matter whether supplier is providing it or no matter whether the third person is providing it, it will be treated as a separate supply and will be taxable accordingly, will be taxed accordingly. Am I clear? The dealer will not be e-commerce operator, or through e-commerce operator is an intermediary. That fellow will just connect the seller and buyer. Example of a third person in the case, for example, you are going to Purvika Mobiles, buying the mobile. Next to them there is some Bajaj Finance or somebody, etc. They are saying you just pay 2500 extra to us, we will take care of the warranty. Tomorrow in case if the display gets broken, etc., etc., we will take care of it, we will pay for it, you will get the display freely. That way. All your other topic related doubts, ask me later. Okay, fine. Next, shall we proceed? Right. So is it clear, everyone? Here guys, third person means, understand this Sudarshan, third person means here who is not a supplier, who is not a recipient, some other person. As I told, some Bajaj Finance is providing such type of services, or some other, any other agency, they are purely into the business of selling extended warranty. Okay, just like insurance business, simple. Okay. Next, what is the next one, ma? So that is what the next amendment. So with this we are done with amendments related to supply chapter. Let us move on to next amendment from charge chapter. In this charge chapter we have already discussed this amendment 3 during the lecture. First of all, understand, when they are testing any amendment, it is just like any other question. They'll give you a situation, they'll ask you whether it is supply or not, whether it is taxable or not, what is the tax treatment, all that way. Or that can be tested as an adjustment in any big problem also. Okay, so that way they can test the amendments. Now coming to the next one, next amendment, so charge chapter, amendment 3. You already know the services provided by director are subjected to RCM, and whatever the services director provides in his capacity as a director, that is only subjected to RCM. Anything else he is providing in his personal capacity, then it will be subjected to tax as per their individual cases. We have to check. Now for example, see, I am director of a company, I am getting director's remuneration for the services I am providing to the company as a director. So it will be subjected to RCM straight away if I am not an employee. Now I am also an engineer, civil engineer, did the engineering in IIT Bombay. Imagine, for example, okay, I am the director of the company. I am providing services as a director to the company. Company is a construction based company. Somewhere in future, company needed a certificate from a civil engineer. I'm also practicing as a civil engineer separately. I'm running my own office, all that. So company thought, instead of going here and there with some other people, let us go to Vishnu sir itself. Vishnu sir is also a civil engineer, no? Let him give the certificate to the company. For that, let the company pay some consideration. So I am giving certification in the capacity of civil engineer, in my personal capacity, to the company regarding there's some construction which is ongoing now. Okay, for that company paid me 1 lakh consideration. Here whether RCM will come into picture, must straight away. No, sir, you cannot bring that, because here Vishnu is not giving services to the company as a director. He is giving it in his independent capacity. Am I clear? So services supplied by director to the company as a director in the capacity of director, then only it is taxable under RCM. If it is under his private or personal capacity, straight away you cannot invoke RCM unless any other RCM entry can be satisfied. Hope I am clear. Shall we proceed? This entry we have already discussed during the classes, right? So hope it is clear for you. Right. Next one. What is this next amendment? Amendment 4. Simple one. Just look at this. If you remember, government services, RCM and exemptions combined discussion we have made during the lecture. Government will be having two types of customers. One is general public, the other is business entity. And all the government services to general public are exempt other than A, B, C, postal department, all that stuff. Correct? Do you remember Indian Railways? So here the same amendment here, nothing but they are just again discussing. Along with postal department, they have added the word Indian Railways. So I repeat, in all the government related services in reverse charge mechanism and uh, exemptions, they have added the word Indian Railways next to the word postal department. That's all. So that is the amendment. So we have already discussed during the lecture. This is not that latest amendment, the old one only. Shall we continue? So in RCM entries and exemption entries, wherever we are talking about postal department services, services in relation to aircraft or vessel or transportation of goods or passengers. So earlier here there was only postal department services which are straight away taxable, always taxable, taxable under FCM if you remember. So now they have added the word Ministry of Railways next to postal department. So that means they are also always taxable, taxable under forward charge, except any exemption given in anywhere else. So that is what all about this particular entry. Okay, same here again. In entry 5A, if you remember, renting of immovable property, I'll just show you one example. 1 second. Right. Hope you remember this example actually. See, normally government, including parliament, assembly, courts or tribunals, renting immovable property to registered person under GST is coming under RCM. So if it is to unregistered person, FCM. So that was the point. And now, sir, they have excluded Indian Railways from this. That means they are trying to say, if Indian Railways is renting any premises, whether to registered person or to unregistered person, both the cases it comes under FCM. That is what they are trying to tell. Simple. Clear? Right. So Indian Railways alone renting the immovable property, no matter the recipient is registered or unregistered, it is FCM, no RCM. Okay, that is the amendment, and we have already discussed that during the lecture. Now coming to the next one, amendment number 5. So this one also we have discussed already, if you remember. So transportation of passengers by e-commerce operator using omnibus. If it is done by company, company is liable to pay GST. In other cases, e-commerce operator is liable to pay GST. Do you remember that? So if you remember here, sir, normally if transportation of passengers is done through e-commerce operator is liable to pay GST under section 9 subsection 5. You know that. Now, if for example there is a sole proprietor called Transformers Travels sole proprietor who is operating a bus from Chennai to Hyderabad. Imagine there is a person by name Mr. Sanchar. He is booking the bus ticket using GoIbibo. In that case, who is liable to pay GST? GoIbibo is liable to pay GST. But sir, if the same bus is operated by a transporter called Vivar the Travels Private Limited, and then the Sanchar passenger is buying the ticket using GoIbibo, then who is liable to pay GST? The company Vivar the Travels Private Limited is liable to pay GST. That means transporting the passengers using an omnibus through e-commerce operator If supplier is company, company is liable to pay GST. If supplier is anybody else, e-commerce operator is liable to pay GST. That is the amendment, and of course we have discussed this during the lecture also. Please be careful with this point. Shall we proceed? Shall we proceed? Okay. Right. Okay. Now, so with this we are done with amendments related to charge. The next one again, this one also we have discussed, nothing but this is also not that great latest one, so 1 year old. Okay, but it is there in statutory update, that is why I am discussing, so that there are, if at all that is tested in the exam, it should not be like you have not revised it. Okay, so now address of 10.1 CA. So if you remember 10.1 CA, that is place of supply. If goods are sold, if goods are sold to an unregistered person, what is the place of supply? Whatever the place, whatever the address recorded in the invoice will be taken as place of supply. Correct? When goods are sold to an unregistered person, I repeat, place of supply is whatever the address of the unregistered person recorded in the invoice. Address recorded in the invoice means need not be like detailed address, the door number, landmark, all that stuff. Just the state name is sufficient. Just the state name is sufficient. Okay. So here, address in the sense recording state name is sufficient. Okay, important point of this is, so please be careful, state name is sufficient. If at all that fellow has not given the address for which from which state he belongs to, all that stuff, then location of the supplier will be the place of supply. Simple. Okay, so that is the amendment in place of supply. Next, another amendment in place of supply, if you remember, advertising on this billboards, all that stuff, this is also an old amendment. Okay, so this amendment, if you remember, this is already discussed during the lectures also. Now, sir, what is happening now? There are so many hoardings you will be seeing on roads, all that stuff. Sir, this hoarding, sir, this hoarding is used for advertising, is used for advertising. Okay, am I clear, everybody? Is the voice, everything clear? Okay, fine. So, okay, fine. Listen. So, the point is, see, this hoarding we are taking on rent. This hoarding we are taking on rent for advertising. Now the point is, this hoarding owner is called vendor. This hoarding owner is called vendor, and there is an advertising agency. Advertising agency which is advertising the brands of its clients. For example, Honda company wants to advertise their new car Honda Elevate. They will go to this advertising agency. We'll ask the advertising agency, please advertise this everywhere in this country. Wherever the hoarding you find out, there should be Honda Elevate car advertisement only. So now this agency is going and asking the vendor. Okay, this agency is going and asking the vendor to give that hoarding for advertising. Now please understand, vendor is saying, sir, you tell me which advertisement you want there, I will put that advertisement, but I will not give you control over the hoarding. Pay me 1 lakh per month. You tell me which advertisement you want, I will advertise that. You should not have any control over the hoarding. Am I clear? You want Santosh soap advertisement, I will change. You want Honda Elevate car advertisement, I will change. You want MRF tire advertisement, I will change. But that hoarding will be completely under my control. Like that the vendor is saying. That means vendor is providing what services to this advertisement agency? He is providing advertising services only, no other than. The hoarding owner is providing advertising services to the advertising agency. Then what will be the place of supply? How do you determine the place of supply? Section 12 subsection 2 general rule of IGST Act. Okay, this is one possibility. Or what? The vendor says, sir, you pay me 1 lakh per month, sir. Whatever you want, you do, sir. Whatever you want, you do. That means complete hoarding will be under our control, under the control of advertising agency, under the control of advertising agency. In such cases, sir, this hoarding is an immovable property. No, sir. This is nothing but that fellow is renting the immovable property. This is nothing but similar to renting the immovable property. So, sir, for this, what will be the service? Renting of immovable property. How will you determine the place of supply? Everybody, do you remember? Very good, Rakshita. So it is 12 subsection 3. Yes or no? So that is the point. Simple advertising, that like hoarding is, the hoarding owner is saying whatever you want, you tell me, I will advertise. That means he is providing to us advertising services. Place of supply as per 12 subsection 2. No, sir, he is giving full control of the hoarding to us. We can do whatever we want. Morning you want Honda advertisement, Honda. Afternoon you want MRF tires, MRF tires. Night you want Santur soap advertisement, Santur soap. Simple. The hoarding will be completely under our control. That means it is renting the hoarding. So it is 12 subsection 3. Place of supply will be decided as per 12 subsection 3. That is what the concept. Okay. Right. So this is the another amendment, and of course this is also not that latest, old amendment only. Right. Now this is another clarification which is exclusively belonging to Jan25 exams. So you should be careful with this. Important for you. So what is this amendment all about? Now this is about you people only. You are placing an order in Amazon, Flipkart. Okay. And next, of course, Feb month is coming. You know, your favorite festival, Valentine's Day, is coming. When you are placing an order, right? So the e-commerce operator, the platform will ask you, what is the billing address? You will say billing address is Tamil Nadu, and that will ask, what is the shipping address? The shipping address, you will say, let us assume Kerala. Okay. Don't ask me why Kerala, even I don't know. Right? So shipping address Kerala. Right? Now in that case, what will be the place of supply? See, the problem here is when any supply made through e-commerce operator to unregistered persons, if billing address and shipping address are same, no problems, are same state, no problem about place of supply. But if billing address and shipping address are different, then what is the place of supply, sir? Place of supply is the delivery address. Place of supply is the delivery address. Am I clear? Simple amendment. Remember, important. You are unregistered person buying something from e-commerce operator, and that goods billing address is different, shipping address is different. Of course, you know, bill to ship to model. Billing address is Tamil Nadu, shipping address is Kerala. What should be taken as place of supply? Place of supply is nothing but the place where the delivery is done. Okay, that is what the concept. With this, we are done with place of supply amendments as well. Let us move on to the next one, exemptions amendments. So let us understand, guys. I repeat here, see, this is, please understand, this is for purely unregistered person, not for any other case. Bill to ship to model only in case of unregistered person. Right. Now let us move on to the next chapter of amendments, that is exemptions. Okay, so exemptions, if you see, all these exemptions are already there, and the new exemptions are nothing that great. Let us just quickly go through them. So we have already discussed this. See, satellite launch services provided by Indian Space Research Organization, Anthrics Corporation Limited, or New Space India Limited. These things are exempt under GST. If these organizations are providing satellite launch services, exempt under GST. Next, as I already told you, in all the government services entries, you know, after the postal department word, they have added Ministry of Railways. That is the another amendment. See, I have just included here to show you the difference, otherwise not that greatly relevant. Also, just remember, next to the postal department services, they have added Ministry of Railways. So always taxable under FCM. But Indian Railways, there is an exemption in case of transportation of passengers. Hope you remember that transportation of passengers through AC and first class is taxable, remaining anything is exempt. Do you remember? Economic class, sleeper class, and this metro, monorail, tramway, all that exemption is there. Okay, so please keep that in mind. So all these points are regarding nothing but next to postal department, they have added this word Ministry of Railways. Same story here, everywhere that is what the amendment. Now that is regarding amendment in exemptions, and this is addition in exemption. So the new exemption has been added. This also we have discussed in the class. So services by way of water supply, public health, sanitation conservancy, solid waste management, and slum improvement and upgradation. These services, any person, supplier can be any person, recipient is governmental authority. If that is the case, it is exempt under GST, right? So that is what with respect to exemptions, the amendments, all that. Coming to the next one, time of supply. Here also we have seen some time of supply amendments actually during the lecture. So this is something regarding specified actionable claims, and keep this in mind, important this is. So what is this all about now? You know, normally it's a time of supply with respect to advances received for goods. You remember, advances received for services immediately taxable, but advances received for goods, ADOI or DDOI, do you remember time of supply? Actual date of invoice or due date of invoice, whichever is earlier. Yes or no? This is for all goods normally. But sir, specified actionable claims, that means lottery, betting, gambling, all that stuff. Sir, you are going to a casino playing this lottery, betting, gambling, and you pay the amount. Till raising the invoice, due date of invoice or actual date of invoice, all these things, nothing doing. Immediately when you are paying, time of supply will come into picture. That means generally we know, for advances received for goods, time of supply is not immediate. Tax liability will not come into picture immediately. But if it is specified actionable claim is a good. So if it is specified actionable claim, obviously yes, the time of supply will be date of payment. Okay, so that is the difference. For normal goods, all goods, not leave about normal goods, for all goods except specified actionable claims, time of supply is ADOI or DDOI, actual date of invoice or due date of invoice, whichever is earlier. But specified actionable claims, date of payment. Clear? This is the another amendment. Okay, next, what is the next one? The next one is regarding a clarification. So next one is regarding a clarification. What is this clarification all about? Once try to read this and understand what is this clarification. How the patients are. Right. So this is a clarification which is exclusively Jan25 exam related. Okay, so what is this clarification? This is all about the contract between NHAI and the concessionaries who will construct the roads and provide their operation and maintenance for 15 to 17 years. See, to simplify this, nothing but, see, there are two parties here. One is National Highways Authority of India and the concessionary who will be constructing the highway, operating that highways and maintaining that highways, okay, over a period of time. For this, listen carefully, for this, National Highway Authority of India, see, there is a contract between them, almost some 15 to 17 years. 15 to 17 years they will be having this contract. So the concessionary, this person is nothing but constructing the highways, operating them and maintaining them. For that, consideration will be paid by NHA periodically. What is the time of supply for this? Was the doubt. And there the department has clarified. Please understand, look at this contract holistically. Not just like whenever the payment is made. Don't treat like there is some separate supply is happening here. This is as a whole a single contract. This is as a whole a single contract for 15 to 17 years. Just payment is happening periodically. Correct, Amma? So that means, can I say this is continuous supply of service, or do you remember continuous supply of service? So this is nothing but continuous supply of service, sir. So here what you should do now, sir, because it is continuous supply of service, you should see due date for raising the invoice under section 31. Due date for raising the invoice under section 31. What is the due date for raising the invoice under section 31? If due date for payment is ascertainable on or before that due date. If due date for payment is not ascertainable on or before the payment, or if it is linked to completion of an event on or before completion of such event. Do you remember this? So the department has clarified, sir, this is a continuous supply of service, and raise the invoice on or before the due date of payment if due date is ascertainable, on or before the payment if due date is not ascertainable, or if these payments are linked to completion of an event on or before completion of such event. Concessionary has to raise invoice over NHAI, and for that invoice NHAI will make the payment and GST will be charged accordingly. What will be the time of supply? Time of supply, because this is supply of service. Time of supply, what is the section? For services, what is the section? Time of supply. Exactly, 13 subsection 2. What will be the time of supply? You should check now whether this invoice is raised within section 31 time limit or not. If it is raised within 31 time limit, then date of invoice or date of payment, whichever is earlier, will be the time of supply. No sir, the invoice is not raised within section 31 time limit. Date of provision of service or date of completion of service, whatever you call, or date of payment, whichever is earlier. So that is what the concept all about, sir. This is simple terms. This transaction between NHA and concessionary is similar to continuous supply of service. Raise the invoice accordingly on or before due date of payment, on or before payment, or on or before completion of the event, as the case may be. And obviously the time of supply will be what? If invoice is raised within the time limit, then date of invoice or date of payment, whichever is earlier. If invoice is not raised within the due date, then date of provision of service or date of payment, again whichever is earlier. Clear? Simple clarification, just lengthy, that's all. I have just given this fully here. Why? Because for you just to go with the technical terms, that's all. Apart from that, so this is very simple one. Shall we continue? So the contract should be considered holistically, not artificially divided into separate contracts based on payment terms. Because the contract says what? Contract says concessionary is having the obligation to complete the construction, operate it, and do the maintenance also. That is what with respect to HAM mode, that is hybrid annuity mode. Clear everyone? So this is the brand new amendment for you. Correct, Tara? This we did not discuss in class, Noma. Okay, right. So that is what with respect to time of supply. Now let us move on to the next one, input tax credit. Look at this amendment, amendment number 12. What is this all about? So what is the next amendment, guys? The next amendment, amendment number 12. So this amendment number 12 is regarding, see, supplier made supply of goods to the recipient. This supply of goods is covered under RCM. Supplier is unregistered person, recipient is registered person. Who will give invoice to whom? You know, recipient will give invoice to the supplier, and we call it as self-invoice. Correct? We call it as self-invoice. Now, on this transaction, because this is an RCM transaction, who can take ITC? Who can take ITC? Who can take ITC? Can recipient take ITC? Yes or no? Just respond with that. Yes or no? Can recipient take ITC? Hmm? Can recipient take ITC? The answer is yes, recipient can take ITC. But sir, what is the time limit to take ITC on this? Sir, section 16 subsection 4, obviously sir, what is this question? Sir, time limit to take ITC as per section 16 subsection 4 is 30th November of the succeeding financial year or actual date of filing annual return of relevant financial year. Yes or no? Do you remember this? Now the question is all about what is the relevant financial year? What is the relevant financial year? The relevant financial year is nothing but, sir, this self invoice has to be raised by the recipient as per section 31. No sir. So in which financial year this was raised? The financial year in which it was raised, that will be the relevant financial year for us, sir. That will be the relevant financial year for us. Simple. Clear? Now look at this entry. Now look at the entry, or look at the clarification. Sorry. Sir, the relevant financial year for calculation of time limit for availing ITC under section 16 subsection 4 will be the financial year in which the invoice has been issued by the recipient under section 31 subsection 3 clause F. Am I clear? So simple, only invoice issued financial year will be the relevant financial year. Am I clear? Shall we go with the next amendment, amendment number 13? Amendment number 13, amendment number 13. Look at this amendment number 13. This is also important for you. I am expecting an adjustment from this amendment actually in the problems. So look at this clarification. What is this? This is also Jan 25 exam amendment. I am expecting a question from this clarification. What is this clarification all about? See. Read carefully, everyone. So what is the point right here? What is this now? So this is all about, see, during this optical fiber cable network construction, they are using something called ducts and manholes. Okay. So while providing this telecom services for providing telecom services, they are constructing the optical fiber. Okay. Sorry. Yes. I understood. Yes, let us proceed. Right. Sir, this is all about during constructing this optical fiber cable networks for providing telecom services, they are using something called ducts and manholes. Okay, ducts and manholes. Right. So is the clear? Is the audio clear? No. So what we were discussing now. So this ducts and manholes, what they are using for constructing the optical fiber cable network, which is used to provide telecom services, whether we can take ITC on that or not. So like that they have written a doubt, and the department has clarified saying that, see, ducts and manholes what you are using are very much covered within the meaning of plant and machinery, and moreover they are not specifically excluded from the definition of plant and machinery because they are not land, they are not building, they are not civil structure, they are not telecom towers, they are not pipelines laid outside the factory premises. So please understand, plant and machinery are nothing but any equipment or apparatus which we used in the business. And if you remember 17 subsection 5, in 17 subsection 5, if you remember this works contract services, we have discussed you cannot take ITC, but if it is related to plant and machinery, you can take ITC. But they said plant and machinery excludes land and building, plant and machinery excludes telecom towers, plant and machinery excludes civil structures, land and building and civil structures, telecom towers, and plant and machinery excludes pipelines laid outside the factory. Okay, very good, super. So these three things are not covered under plant and machinery definition. That means for these things ITC is blocked. Only for plant and machinery ITC is given. No. So ducts and manholes will not come under land and building, civil structure, telecom towers, or pipelines laid outside the factory. So you are happily eligible for taking ITC. So remember, simple, ducts and manholes are plant and machinery. You can take ITC. Simple. I expect an adjustment in the problem in the exam for regarding this particular clarification. Fine. So let us proceed with the next one. So are you clear? That is one thing with respect to amendments of input tax credit. Let us move on to registration. right? Another amendment number 14 in registration, simple one, already discussed during the class also. Earlier, if at all any physical verification, if you remember the physical verification of the premises done by the proper officer during registration application, so when you have applied for registration, so physical verification of the premises will be done, or even after the grant of registration also sometimes they will carry out the physical verification. So no matter after the grant of registration or before the grant of registration, if the proper officer is doing physical verification of the premises, earlier there was a requirement that the applicant or the registered person should be present at the premises at the time of doing physical verification. Okay, now but please understand, now that provision has been amended where applicant need not be present. Without his physical presence also, the proper officer can carry out the physical verification or the site verification. Am I clear? So proper officer, if he is satisfied, physical verification, the place of business of person is, 1 second, right? So if the proper officer is satisfied that physical verification of the place of business of a person is required after the grant of registration, yes, he can do, or before grant of registration also he can do, and for doing that he need not have the person's physical presence. So registered person or the applicant, his physical presence is not required. So physical verification of the premises can be done without the physical presence of the applicant or registered person. So that is what the point. So this is the amendment, already we have seen that, right? So next one, what is the next one? Amendment number 15, this also we have already seen. So if you remember, sir, rule 10a, what rule 10a will say na? Rule 10a will ask you to update your bank account details after getting your registration. Do you remember the date? So earlier it was different, 45 days that period was there. Now what the rule 10a is saying na, see, if you are applying for registration without giving your bank account details, happily take registration. But after getting registration, within 30 days from the date of grant of registration or before filing your GSTR 1 or IFF invoice furnishing facility, whichever is earlier, within 30 days from the date of grant of registration or before furnishing GSTR 1 or IFF, whichever is earlier, please update your bank account details. Okay, sir, what if I don't update, sir? Don't worry, if you don't update, we will suspend your registration. And if it is suspended and if you are not responding, then obviously your registration will be cancelled. No, sir, I don't want my registration to be cancelled. Then do these things, and if registration is suspended and if you update the bank account details properly, then we will revoke the suspension. Okay, if you are complying with rule 10a, then we will revoke the suspension. Am I clear? So I repeat, rule 10a, am I clear? Shall we proceed? And so that is what the point. So bank account details, as per rule 10a, you should update the bank account details before 30 days, within 30 days from the date of registration, grant of registration certificate, or before filing GSTR 1 or IFF, whichever is earlier. Otherwise we will revoke your, we will suspend your registration, and then later on it goes for cancellation also. So if you don't want that to happen, during suspension at least you can give your bank account details, update your bank account details as per rule 10a, and then your registration suspension shall be revoked. Clear, my everyone? Shall we proceed? Respond in the chat box. Right, next, super, very good. Next one, what is next one? Do you remember the time limit for revocation of cancellation? Do you remember? Sir, earlier it was revocation of cancellation, that is cancellation of cancellation order. Earlier it was 30 days as per the law, then another 30 days additional commissioner or joint commissioner, and then another 30 days commissioner will give you the condonation of delay. But now what is the law? The amendment says within 90 days. Now all these things are not there. Now 90 days. Remember, anything you see is a old provision. Simple. Remember, from the date of grant of cancellation certificate, what you can do? You can apply for revocation of cancellation from the date of service of the order of cancellation of your registration within 90 days. Within 90 days, you can apply for revocation. Sir, that 90 days time limit also over, sir. I couldn't apply, sir. I forgot, sir. Memory loss patient, sir. I'm sorry, sir. What should I do? Don't worry, Ra. Go to additional commissioner or joint commissioner. Say your problems. Convince him. Make him cry because of your problems. Then what he will do? He will condone the delay. But he will not condone the delay for a period more than 180 days. That means 90 days is over. After 90 days also still, if you go within 180 days, he will condone the delay. So delay can be condoned up to 180 days. That means you have 90 days as per the law. As per additional commissioner or joint commissioner, if they show some mercy on you, another 180 days extra. So it is 90 plus 180 days. Okay. So that is with respect to revocation of cancellation. This one also already we have discussed in the class. Next, let us move on to the next one. So the next one is nothing but this is regarding online money gaming. Where we have seen online money gaming. Online money gaming, a simple small amendment. Just listen. So this is nothing but normally when you are applying for GST registration, you should give your PAN. Do you remember in the class I have shown you registration, the website, etc. Like we'll give your PAN and we'll select the state, all that stuff. Do you remember in the first page, part A? So PAN and state we will be selecting, correct? Now, sir, if any person is providing online money gaming from a place outside India to a person in India, it means only money, online money gaming, let us assume Rummy, etc., etc. The supplier is from outside India, providing services to people in India. He should apply for registration. It is not RCM, it is FCM. Okay, he is liable for registration. And while applying for registration, how he can give his PAN number and state? Does he have any PAN or state here? No. So he is excluded. He is excluded from giving the details, from declaring the PAN and state while applying for registration. Am I clear? This mark it important, can be tested as any MCQ or any small short question. So please be careful. I repeat, any person providing online money gaming from place outside India to people of India obviously has to apply for GST registration and has to pay GST. They need not disclose their PAN and state in the registration application. But for others, obviously we are providing our PAN, state, all that stuff, right? So let us assume somebody providing online rummy game from outside India to Indians through an app, and they have to register. The person, the supplier, the online money gaming company has to register under GST in India to pay GST. That comes under forward charge mechanism. Okay, that is see a final concept, leave it. But you remember online money gaming provided from abroad to India. That fellow, online money gamer fellow, that fellow who is the company, that fellow has to register in India. While registering, you remember we'll be giving our PAN number, state, all that stuff in the registration application. I've shown you in the class also. That requirement for this fellow, it is not there. He need not give his PAN, he did not mention his state. Clear? Rakshita, is it clear, ma? Others, shall we proceed? Next one, amendment number 18. Amendment number 18 also we have already discussed. See, what is this amendment all about? Right. So, sorry guys, fine. This one is already we have discussed one only, right? If you remember, see, normally, if at all you are dealing with goods through e-commerce operator, if you want to make any supplies, you are definitely supposed to take GST registration. But now they gave a relaxation where now, sir, if you are making supply of goods through e-commerce operator who is liable to collect TCS under section 52, you need not take GST registration. You need not take GST registration if at all your threshold limit is not exceeding. That means you can enjoy the threshold limit. So there are some conditions. Do you remember? Like you should be going to GST website and taking this enrollment number and giving to the e-commerce operator. The same procedure we have already discussed. Yes or no? See here, first of all, if you want to supply goods through whom? Through e-commerce operator, still you can enjoy enjoy relaxation for registration. Simple. Under section 22 subsection 1, that means still you can take the threshold limits, still you can take the benefit of threshold limits. Do you remember? But the only condition is, see, the conditions are nothing but what, sir? Conditions are, you should not make any interstate supply, sir. Yes, you should not make supply in more than one state, only one state. See, go to GST website, give your PAN, select the state from which your principal place of business is. So you will get enrollment number, give it to the e-commerce operator and start supplying the goods from through e-commerce operator. Once your threshold limit exceeds the limit, sorry, once your aggregate turnover exceeds the threshold limit, then you apply for registration. This enrollment number will become invalid. So now when you are supplying through e-commerce operator without registration, don't make interstate supplies and don't make supplies in more than one state, and you have to maintain a PAN and declare your details, that is your PAN, your address of the place of business and your state, and get the enrollment number. You will be granted with enrollment number in the common portal. And that, this is important, you should not be having more than one enrollment number, correct? For every state, if you take enrollment number, you can make supplies in every state. Like that, you should not plan. Hope you remember this, correct? We have discussed all that. Okay. And no supply of goods shall be made without grant of enrollment number. Yes, after taking enrollment number only you should make supply, and this enrollment number becomes invalid, that is cease to be valid, when you subsequently take registration, correct? So that is what the concept. Shall we proceed? Right. So this is the next one. And finally, you remember, like, this last amendment is risk based biometric Aadhaar authentication. Do you remember? Risk based biometric based Aadhaar authentication was for Gujarat and Pondicherry. Now it is also made applicable to Andhra Pradesh. That is the next amendment. Right. We are almost going to finish the amendments. Don't worry. Another 10-15 minutes we are done. Next one. What is next one, Raf? The next one is regarding tax invoice, debit note, credit note. Amendment number 20. Amendment number 20 is all about e-invoice limit. Yes, it is 5 crores. It is not 10 crores. Wherever you see any question bank, etc., I see some question banks like popular, those who are now in the market with respect to question banks, I am seeing them doing some mistakes, all that with respect to question and answers. Questions are correct, but answers are not correct, not updated. So please be careful. E-invoice limit is restricted to 5 crores now. It is not 10 crores. This amendment also not latest one, old one only. So normally, sir, this TDS TCS provisions we have seen, correct, sir, with respect to government departments, establishments or government agencies, local authorities, PSUs, which are registered for the purpose of solely deducting TDS and paying to the government under section 51. That means these government departments, all these people, they are not registered because they are making taxable supplies. They are registered because to follow section 51 provisions, correct? So you remember that government departments which take exclusively registration for the purpose of following section 51 provisions, deducting TDS and giving it to the government, correct? So for them, if you are making supply, for example, Vishnuvardhan is making supply to government department. Which government department? Which got registered only for section 51 purpose, only for section 51 purpose. Now Vishnuvardhan's aggregate turnover in any preceding financial year from 17-18 crossed 5 crores, crossed 5 crores. So what should I do now? Follow e-invoice, follow e-invoice. Follow e-invoice for what? B2B supplies. B2B supplies. Now you tell me whether this is a B2B supply. Whether this is a B2B supply. Whether here e-invoice provisions are applicable. Whether here e-invoice provisions are applicable. Yes or no? Respond in the chat box. The answer is yes, sir. This is B2B supply. The answer is yes, this is B2B supply. And whether we have to issue invoice for this? Yes, I have to issue e-invoice. Yes, this is B2B supply, and yes, I have to raise e-invoice for them. Clear? Next, so with this we are done with amendments of tax invoice, debit note, credit note, and here there are some amendments actually which are given with respect to that interest calculation we do not wrong availment and utilization of ITC. So regarding that some clarifications. Actually, this is not that greatly relevant at your level. Now listen now. See, what is this amendment actually all about? Now, this clarification all about. Now, if you remember, interest calculation under section 50 subsection 3, where ITC is wrongly availed and we are reversing ITC, interest will come into picture only if the wrongly availed ITC has been utilized, if you remember properly. We have done some problems. This same example also we have discussed in the classroom, and I made you to solve one CA final problem also with respect to this, if you remember. CA final November 2023 exam question also for 5 marks, I guess, we have solved in the classroom. Now, please understand, sir, what is this all about now? When you wrongly avail ITC, for example, you have availed. Suppose when you wrongly avail ITC, for example, understand, sir, you have wrongly availed 50,000 ITC. Later on, you are reversing, you know, you have understood the mistake, you are reversing the ITC. Now, when you are reversing the ITC, they will ask you to pay interest only if that wrongly availed ITC has been utilized. How can I say this wrongly availed ITC has been utilized? That is based upon the closing balance of e-credit ledger. Sir, I have availed 50,000 as wrongly ITC, and e-credit ledger balance, closing balance, if you see, only when it falls below that 50,000, that means wrongly availed ITC has been utilized. Correct? Here the doubt is, sir, suppose if I have wrongly availed ITC of IGST, if I have wrongly availed ITC of only IGST, then you know, for paying IGST, we can use other balance also, Sonora. So the point is, sir, if at all, when I'm checking this closing e-credit ledger balance, this is falling below 50,000. No, this 30,000 means, should I consider only IGST balance or all the heads like IGST, CGST, SGST, all the heads balances cumulatively e-credit ledger balance? If it falls below 50,000, then only will consider that I have utilized that ITC. I repeat, wrongly availed ITC, you have to pay interest only if you utilize it. So when you are utilizing, how can I understand you have utilized? I can understand that it has been utilized when the closing e-credit ledger balance falls below that particular wrongly availed ITC. This headwise you have to check. But the point is here, if at all, if wrongly availed ITC is IGST amount, in IGST head you have taken wrongly ITC, then all the heads cumulatively, if they have fallen below that 50,000 in the example, then only you can say that wrongly availed ITC has been utilized, IGST ITC has been utilized. Then only interest calculation will come into picture. Got the clarity? Respond. I repeat, IGST ITC wrongly availed will be treated as utilized only if all the heads cumulatively put together balance falls below the amount of wrongly availed ITC. Then only you can say it is utilized. That is the clarification. Okay, am I clear? Others respond, waiting for your response. Okay, so now another query. Look at this query, Sir, whether credit of compensation cess, whether credit of credit of compensation cess available in e-credit ledger shall be taken into account while considering the e-credit ledger balance for the purpose of calculation in calculation of interest under Rule 88B sub Rule 3 in respect of wrongly availed and utilized ITC of IGST CGS. This is nothing but, sir, we are checking this closing e-credit ledger balance, no sir, for paying the interest, all that stuff, wrongly availed and utilized ITC. In that case, should I consider GST compensation cess lying in the credit ledger? How can you consider that for GST compensation cess, if you avail ITC also, it can be used only to set off the GST compensation cess, Nora. It cannot be used for paying anything else. So you cannot consider that. Since ITC in respect of compensation cess can be utilized only towards payment of compensation cess, so the credit of compensation cess cannot be utilized for payment of any other tax under CGST, SGST or IGST. It cannot be taken into account while considering the balance of e-credit ledger. Am I clear? Simple ma. Here we are seeing closing e-credit ledger balance. So in this example, while calculating this closing e-credit ledger balance, GST compensation cess amounts please don't consider. That is what they are saying. Please don't consider this balance. Okay. So with this we are done with payment of tax clarifications also. Okay. Here I'll just write a small point for your quick revision. IGST ITC wrongly availed. Guys, we are done. Just last 2-3 minutes we are done with the amendments. Don't worry. Wrongly availed, considered as utilized only if IGST plus CGST plus SGST ITC balances falls below balances together. Falls below wrongly availed ITC. Falls below wrongly availed ITC. Clear? So this is what the clarification with respect to that. So we are done with payment of tax also, that chapter. Next, TDS and TCS. TDS and TCS, nothing great amendment. So TCS details furnished by the e-commerce operator shall be made electronically available to whom? You know that TCS details, if we file, you will use GSTR. Which form? GSTR. Which form you will file? Very good. Fastest finger first. Shivaraman and Zoha, GSTR 8. Sir, GSTR 8 if you file, then to the opposite fellow it will get reflected in e-cash ledger. But this will be reflected only for whom? Only for registered people, registered person. Sir, for unregistered person, TCS only I will not collect, no sir. Because supplies made by unregistered person does not attract TCS only. I don't know who are getting these doubts, and the department is clarifying all this. Shall we proceed? Okay. So that is another amendment. So we are done with that. TDS TCS also simple. So TCS details will be reflected or will be made available only to registered person. It will not be made available to unregistered person. Sir, how can it be made available to unregistered person? Sir, TCS itself will not be applicable there, no sir, in such case. How you can make it available? So simple. TCS details will be made only applicable to or available to registered persons. Right. Next, the last chapter, returns, the amendments. Of course, not new amendments, already what you know. This is nothing but, sir, my GSTR 1 or IFF filing will be blocked, sir. And for blockage, there are some rules, very, very important topic. Right? You remember, please, this filing of your GSTR 1 IFF shall be blocked. So there are various conditions, situations for that. For that, 2 new conditions have been added. This also we have already discussed in the class. One is rule 88D and the other is rule 10A. Rule 10A is not furnishing your bank account details, now then your GSTR 1 or IFF filing will be blocked. And rule 88D, what it is, we will see here in the next page. Okay. So these are the new conditions for blocking you from filing your GSTR 1 or IFF. Am I clear? So one is violating rule 88D, the other is violating rule 10A. Rule 10A is giving bank account details. What is rule 88D? If you remember, there is something called rule 88C also. 88C. The simple way I will just tell you this. Rule 88C, what it says, and rule 88D, what it says. Rule 88C, what it says, na, in GSTR 1, you have given your outward supplies details, the sales, greater than your GSTR 3B sales. Do you remember that? Then the department will give you notice. You have to reply to the notice. See, whatever the shortfall is there, you have to pay the taxes and close it. Or if it is genuine case, you have to give the reasons and close it. Either if you are not making the payment, you are not giving the reasons, or you have given the reasons and they are not satisfactory to the proper officer, then they will not allow you to file the next GSTR1 or IFF. Same way, sir, there is rule 88D also they have brought into picture. In rule 88D, what they are saying now, sir, the ITC available in 2B is less than what you have taken as ITC in 3B, sir. That means in 2B it is showing only 10,000, you have taken 25,000 as ITC. Again, the department will give you notice. Okay, the department will give you notice, and please understand, you have to reply to that notice. So that means reply means what? Make the payment of difference payment, whatever is there, please make the payment. No sir, there are genuine reasons, explain the reasons. If you are not making the payment, or you are not giving the reasons, or your reasons whatever you have given are not satisfactory, then your GSTR1 or IFF generation shall be blocked. Okay, so that is what with respect to this rule 88D. As I told, if you fail to pay, or no explanation or reason is furnished, or whatever the explanation or reason furnished is not found to be acceptable by the proper officer, then also your GSTR1 or IFF generation shall be blocked. Hope it is clear for you. Okay, so with this we are done with GST amendments for your JAM exams. First of all, understand this PDF, everything will be shared to you in your Telegram channels, all the stuff, so no need to worry. Okay, so with this we are done with all the amendments, and please make sure you are going through the amendments carefully before the exams, because amendments are definitely being tested in every attempt. So prepare well, and GST of course will always help you to achieve more marks in taxation paper. So any doubts etc, feel free to contact me so through my Instagram account. So this is my Insta ID, CA_Vishnu_Vardhan. So whatever doubts you have, you can always ping me in Instagram. So I'll be happy to clarify your doubts, and wishing you all the very best. Please stay positive and stay very motivated. Fight hard till the last minute of your last exam. Wishing you all the very best. See you all in another video. Thank you and Jai Hind.